The next regulations are transportation of goods through foreign territory regulations 2020. And these regulations have been made in suppression of the earlier regulations of 1965.
For latest updates, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon.
What is the significance of these regulations? Is that this particular regulation does not pertain to import export of goods, nor does it pertain to import export of goods to a third country. These regulations have been enacted between the Government of India and the Government of Bangladesh for movement of goods other than import goods and export goods. As you may be aware that the concept of territorial waters and Indian customs waters is relevant in the Indian customs law. But considering the fact that the distance between two countries like India, Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka may be relatively much lesser than 200 nautical miles, and many a times maybe a little bit more than Indian territorial waters and so on. And it is possible that a vessel has to traverse or travel through these ports to go to some other Indian ports. And to facilitate this kind of a movement, these regulations have been made. Let us now analyze the concept and the terms of these regulations. So these regulations use the word ACMP. ACMP means here Agreement of Use of Chattogram and Mongla Port for movement of goods between India and Bangladesh, and this is what is known as ACMP. And a protocol has been made known as PIWTT, Protocol on Inland Transit and Trade, between the Government of India and the Government of Bangladesh. And as I said earlier, these regulations do not pertain or do not apply to import of goods and export of goods between the two countries. These regulations pertain to movement from India through a land route which partly lies over the territory of a foreign country, but not a movement for import and exports. So since these goods, so what is the documentation required? So since these goods do not pertain to import and export, the concept of a consignor and consignee has been included in these regulations. So for movement of the goods under these regulations, the consignor or the authorized carrier will file an application in Annexure A or Annexure B at the customs station of exit in India, and will also execute a bond in Annexure C for the movement of the goods through foreign territory, and will also execute a bond for the value of the goods to ensure the safe transportation of the goods up to the destination which has been declared in the customs transit declaration in Annexure C. Once the requirements of Regulation 3 have been complied with, the proper officer will endorse the declaration or will approve the declaration. So unless and until the declaration has been approved and signed by the proper officer, the person in charge of the conveyance will not permit loading of any goods onto that particular vessel. Once the goods are loaded on the vessel, after the permission is granted, the proper officer will also seal the containers with a one-time seal. But the PC or the CC can but the power has been vested with the PC and CC to give a waiver of not affixing a one-time seal. In case a one-time seal or one-time lock has been done, the proper officer will make a note of of the number or the serial number of the one-time lock on the goods which are on board of that particular conveyance. Once the goods are re-entered, the proper officer at the time of re-entry will check that the one-time lock or one-time seal is intact and has not been tampered, and then allow the goods to pass to India. Will allow the goods to pass to India by signing the declaration which is carried by the person in charge of the conveyance. Should there be that the seal is not intact, then the proper officer will check the physical quantity of the goods and check it with the declarations made. And if there's any deficiency in the goods or anything has been tampered with, the necessary action will be taken against the person in charge of the conveyance. So once the entire process is covered, the person in charge of the conveyance will file the custom declaration of transshipment, will file the custom transit declaration within 3 months of the re-entry made in India with the customs station at the time of exit from India, to show that proof of arrival back in India through these foreign territory regulations. Once the entire debit credit is complete or the goods are recredited, the bond will be cancelled by the proper officer at the time of exit from India. And this is how the transportation of goods through foreign territory regulations is done. Thank you.
For detailed learning of all logistics subjects, visit www.logiveda.com.